Ooh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a good day and I hope you're in your happy and safe place. My name is Skits, and in this YouTube video, we're gonna give you 6 reasons why Usopp is a GOAT in anime. And since we've been doing the Straw Hats for a long time in this channel, and we've been making the X reasons why X person is a GOAT, and they've been mostly involving the Straw Hats, I figured I was just gonna do them all in a row, so you can expect Sanji's video and Chopper's video and the rest of the Straw Hats videos to come out soon. So without too much more being said, let's get on with it. So number 1, Usopp is the biggest liar ever in the history of anime. All right, that is a staple of his character. I even was thinking about this while I was brainstorming and writing the notes of this video. I was even thinking that Pinocchio, who is also a fictional character known for lying, and what happens to Pinocchio is that when he lies, his nose gets bigger and bigger and bigger, or longer and longer and longer. I'm starting to believe that Pinocchio and him have some sort of similarity, you know, because after all, at the end of the day, Usopp has a very long nose, all right? And Usopp's lying all the time, all right? He lies when he's happy. He lies, for example, to Kaya a lot, his love interest or his friend in Syrup Village, so he can cheer her up. And he's lying just for the sake of lying, and he's also lying in bad circumstances so that he doesn't have to necessarily get involved in the mad lad adventures that he and his friends have to go through sometimes. So, yeah, pretty big liar. Number 2, Usopp is also a pussy, all right? And pretty much he's a huge coward. In the face of danger, he wants to run most of the time. And it's very curious that his dream is to become a brave warrior of the sea when, you know, he is juxtaposed with being such a coward. At least in the beginning, pre-time skip, the more his character develops, I guess you could argue that the more brave he is, most definitely. And number 3, tying number 1 and 2 and other character traits, he is also a very relatable character and probably the most human out of the entire Straw Hat crew. There are plenty of things that make Usopp more human than the rest of his peers, mainly because he lies a lot, like, you know, a lot of people do, and he's also a coward like a lot of people do. But just the way that his character is built compared to the insanity that his peers are built on, you know, he's one of the few characters that doesn't have a devil fruit. Most of the Straw Hats now possess a devil fruit. When it comes to his combat prowess, he mostly uses his intellect and not his strength. And there are characters in the Straw Hats that are able to do things that human beings would normally never be able to do. Usopp, you know, post-time skip, it gets a little bit crazy, but pre-time skip, it's just, you know, him, his intellect, his wits, and he's basically, you know, doing a battle plan to outwit his opponent. And yeah, I think out of all of the crew, he is the most relatable person when it comes to being human. Number 4, he is very crafty. He is a very good inventor. He's very smart. And I put these all together in one. So, you know, when you're thinking about it low key, Usopp is pretty insane. I don't think he's Frankie levels of ingenious and crafty. He's not out here like building ships or submarines or gadgets. But low-key he also is. Like, for example, how the hell do you explain Usopp? I don't know, Usopp's like a teenager at the start of the series, right? And he already has the knowledge to build something like the Klimatect, you know, Nami's weapon of choice. And when you start thinking about it more and more, you're like, yeah, how the hell does this guy possess the scientific knowledge to build something like that? It is insane. And post time skip, like, this guy has weapons that are just literally insane. Like all these seeds and all these types of bullets that turn into spice, or the way that he uses eggs, the plants, insane. And I imagine that some of them come from the island that he was in, the island that he trained post time skip, or in the time window that takes place just before time skip. But insane. All right, number 5, he is low-key a very capable artist. Number 1, he was going to be the artist responsible for the flag banner or flag design, but because it had Usopp's face and it didn't have Luffy's, that got out of the window. And what else? I think there's also like a point where they're going to Drum Island, right? The island where Chopper is. Or there's like an island where it starts snowing or the climate changes, bro. And Luffy and him are having a competition about like who can build like the most amazing snow piece. You should have seen the thing that's Usopp built, bro. Like Usopp low-key could be a sculptor. And yeah, I think he has the proficiency to be a well-rounded artist, more specifically a painter. So in my book, that is goated, okay? And number 6, he is the only one in the crew or in the Straw Hat universe who is willing to stand up to authority. This takes place in Water 7, He has a fight with the Captain Monkey D. Luffy over, the Going Merry. And it was actually pretty hype, I don't think there was any way where Usopp could have won from a narrative standpoint, but he most definitely gave Luffy a fight. And you could also see his ingenuity because, I think by physical stat alone, Luffy just annihilates Usopp, and he could at any given moment. But this is where his wit and intellect comes to play. I remember the boy using dials in the fight. Bruh. And maybe an ordinary person wouldn't think about using this because it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But Usopp clearly did not give a damn, and he was using dials. He was using, a lot. He kind of plotted the whole fight, or a lot of the fight, because he kind of understands the implications of going up a guy who is, insanely strong and just insanely brutal when it comes to fighting. And no other Straw Hat does this. Maybe there are Straw Hats who briefly challenge Luffy on the decisions that he has to take. But Usopp goes completely 180. Not only does he challenge Luffy, but he also abandons the crew because of his pride and because of the fact that, he thought that Luffy was basically abandoning the Going Merry, and Usopp wasn't having any of it. So, goated, basically. And that concludes 6 reasons why Usopp is a GOAT in One Piece and in anime. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. If you want to support me, you know what you got to do. And don't look at me like that, okay? I know you're looking at me like that funny when I'm about to say smash like, smash subscribe, smash everything, smash comment, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Boo!